Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Janelle. I upload new videos every Wednesday. Now if you've been subscribed for a little bit, you know that I was gone last Wednesday. I was on vacation, but I'm so glad to be back filming. And in today's look, since we are officially in August, I thought it would be perfect to do a back to school makeup look using all affordable drugstore products. I know when back to school time comes around, you're buying new clothes, shoes, school supplies. Makeup is the last thing that you want to spend $40 on a foundation for. So I wish that when I was going back to school in high school, middle school, that I saw more affordable options that I could do that were easy and quick. So that's why I wanted to film this look for you guys. I've recently discovered so many amazing drugstore products that I use all the time. So these aren't just like a cheap alternative for a good makeup look. Like these are all bomb makeup products that just so happen to be from the drugstore that I grab for more than my high-end makeup. And this look right here is just a super easy 10-minute makeup look. It obviously will take me longer than 10 minutes to do it in this video because I'm talking, explaining everything. But this is literally what I wore all through vacation, and it stayed put all day. It was super natural. I didn't sweat through it. I felt put together, felt pretty, but didn't feel super extra. So I figured it'd be perfect for back to school. Perfect for back to work for the 100 billionth time. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I got this look, keep on watching. But before we get into the video, today I'm going to be announcing the winner of the giveaway that I announced in my last video. So the winner of my Lancome giveaway is Kimberly Cherie. Kimberly, thank you so much for entering. Thank you for all of your love and support. Thank all of you guys for entering. Like, I truly appreciate it. But definitely stay tuned, stay following me, because I do plan on doing another giveaway very soon. As soon as I get to that 13K, you guys best believe there's going to be another huge giveaway. But Kimberly Cherie, if you would please message me on Instagram. I'll actually be DMing you to get your like shipping info and all that. So congratulations. Thank you guys so much. Let's jump into this back to school easy makeup look. Alright, so first things first, you want to make sure that you use a moisturizer to prep your skin. I'm using the Kiehl's one, but if you wanted a more affordable alternative, the CeraVe moisturizers are really good. You can pick those up at Walmart. And also the Cetaphil moisturizers are amazing. I'm going to be using this Emile Cordon lip balm. Any lip balm is good, but I have been loving these. They sent me a couple of these. I normally use like the clear one for the nighttime, but during the day, if I just want a little bit of color on my lip, but I don't want it to be too much, or I don't want to look like I'm trying too hard, I'll just use this, and it gives you the most like glossy, juicy lip finish. So next up, we got to do something about these brows. The brow pencil that I've been loving lately is the Morphe brow pencil. Mine is in the color... Cool. I don't know the color. And to be honest, I can't remember. I'll try to link everything that I use down below. But this brow pencil is literally $5, and it applies just like the Benefit Brow Wiz. I like to brush all of my hairs up and then just lightly fill in wherever it's more sparse. I like to fill in the top of my brow and not so much the bottom. That way it keeps that feathery look. And toward the front, I'm just going to go straight up. And for me, that's just like the quickest way to fill in my brows without having to spend too much time making them look like too perfect. They look very natural. It doesn't look like I'm trying too hard. Lately, I've been loving to set my brows with this Lash Paradise primer. I use this on my lashes and my brows, but legit, when I started using it on my brows, it gives the most pretty feathery look, and it really does like just seal your brows in place all day. So I'm gonna do a light coat of that. It's gonna go on crazy, but it does dry clear. So just like bear with me. I also do like how it has that kind of white tint, because if I do go heavy-handed, it kind of softens up the brow a little bit. I'm just going to spot conceal under my eyes and around my face. Now, you can use one of these two concealers. They are both so bomb. My favorite drugstore affordable ones, and honestly just some of my favorite concealers of all time, is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. This is all I used while I was on vacation. Doesn't crease, it gives you good coverage, it blends really nice. I also really like the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I think this one's a little bit more matte and slightly thicker, so if you want something very full coverage, use this. If you want something full coverage but you don't want it to look too full coverage, like you still want it to look like skin, this is a great option. Brighten up under my eyes and then just spot correct on my face. I'm kind of debating if I want to do full foundation or if I just want to lather on a ton of concealer like I'm doing right now. I feel like when I'm really in a rush, I'll just do kind of concealer like this. And then when I'm not, I'll like go in with the foundation too. But this concealer does really good of like covering and blending out, so you don't necessarily need to use it with foundation. To blend it out, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. sponge. Guys, this sponge is bomb. I think I like it better than a beauty blender. And what's really cool is that it has a really wide surface area, so you can blend out your concealer and foundation super fast. And it's crazy how much a little bit of concealer really just brightens up the face. Makes it look so much more done up. So it's like you really don't always need full coverage foundation to give you that kind of like awake, I almost look alive kind of finish. So then next, to set my under eye concealer, you already know I'm using my Coty Airspun translucent powder. You don't have to bake, but me, I'm actually going to bake, just because whenever I'm doing light makeup, I do still like for it to stay on all day. And I feel like by baking, for my skin personally, that's the only way it stays put all day. If I don't bake, my skin just absorbs it and then it looks like super streaky. And then since I'm already not gonna be wearing a ton of makeup, then it just looks like I did absolutely nothing to my face. And it's like, I'm gonna take my time to actually do my makeup for some place, whether it's school, work, and I want it to last. I don't want it to be like smudging or anything throughout the day. And then just make sure to pat extra powder wherever you get more oily. If you do tend to crease under your eyes a lot, just make sure that when you're blending out your concealer and your powder that you are pushing it inward from your eyebrow in towards your nose. And that really helps stop your concealer from creasing or settling in any crevices under your eye throughout the day. So once I have that powder to apply, I'm not going to go in obviously with another liquid foundation all over. Instead, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a darker powder on the rest of my face. I'm going to be using the Fit Me powder in 235. Y'all, this powder is bomb. You guys know how I always use my MAC Studio Fix foundation powder. I've been putting down that powder to use this one. I use it on its own. I use it on top of a liquid. It's not going to be as full coverage on its own as the Studio Fix powder is, but it does still give you a little bit of color, a little bit of coverage, and it stays put all day. It smooths out the skin. This one is great for more like combination oily skin, and then they have the regular Fit Me powder that would be good if your skin's more normal to dry. So to buff that into the skin, I'm just using this BH Cosmetics Dome Brush. You could also get like a Real Techniques dome brush or just any dome brush like this. And you just want to kind of buff it in and work it into the skin. It gives some coverage without looking cakey, which is what I love. So I just like really working it on the places where I didn't apply too much concealer. So just kind of like on the outer perimeters. To bronze up my skin, I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is like the perfect natural bronzer. It's not too warm. It's not too cool tone. It blends out really nice. And I'm just taking that with my Jaclyn Hill JH02 brush. Something super fluffy just to kind of warm up the perimeter of my face without looking like I'm straight up contouring. Unless you want to be that girl. Because I was that girl in high school. I contoured my face to school. I had no shame. But honestly, like, just get your extra sleep. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need makeup every day. If you have fun applying it, then you know what, go ahead and do it some days. But I think what's super important is to not feel like you need to wear makeup to school every day, especially at the age where you're in like middle school and high school. Like, don't count on makeup for your like confidence or for how you feel on the inside. Like, it's a time that is so important to where you kind of have to force yourself and teach yourself to feel good in your own skin at its most natural point and just have confidence in your natural beauty. And I feel like that ends up shining through so much brighter than like beauty only accomplished through makeup. And then just to like even up my nose so it's not stark white while the rest of me is super bronze, I'm taking a Dome blending brush. This one is by Pro Fusion. It came in one of the palettes. And I'm just going to warm up the sides of my nose. And then I'm just going to clean up the sides of that contour with a little bit of powder so it's not too wide. And I'm also going to clean up a little bit under my jawline just to make sure that I didn't drag the bronzer down too low. So I'm not going to let it bake for too long. Literally as soon as I apply it, I'm just going to wipe it off and kind of blend it over top. So you can't tell I contoured. You'd think my nose is just naturally snatched. Boom, we're looking cute. Next, to highlight down the center of my nose, I'm using the iconic Wet n Wild highlighter in Precious Petals. It's such a beautiful highlighter, like just in general. I'm gonna use this to highlight the inner corner of my eye. I'm just gonna put a little bit there and there. Me personally, I don't like applying highlighter all over my face, especially if I know I'm gonna have a long day, just because my oils normally tend to mix up in the highlighter and then it gets all over my face. So I only like keeping the highlighter on my nose and in the inner corner of my eye. And then I'll just use a blush with a slight sheen to it to give a little bit of that glow on the cheek without it being too much. I love this blush. This is like, ever since I did my full face using majority of Milani products, I rediscovered this blush, fell in love with it, and it's literally all I used while I was on vacation. For my cheeks, I'm gonna be applying Milani Luminoso blush. This is just the perfect everyday blush, whether you're going to school, whether you're going to work. It gives you that beautiful flush of color on the cheek without being too much, and it gives you a slight sheen to the cheek without looking like a disco ball, like you have a stripe of highlighter down your face at 7 a.m. So I'm just kind of like blending it into the bronzer, and then you see how it gives like a soft glow to the cheek without, again, having that like harsh stripe down your face. For the eyes, I'm going to keep it relatively simple. I recently discovered this Maybelline color tattoo in the shade Socialite. And again, while I was on vacation, this is pretty much like all I used. I would literally just throw it on with my finger, put on some mascara, and I was good. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to take some with my finger. It just gives such a gorgeous wash of color on the eye. I think with a brush though, it does make it more intense. Like if you wanted more of an intense color payoff, apply it with a flat brush. If you don't want it, just use your finger, and you can see it gives a much more like washed out kind of finish. But see how pretty of a color it is? It just kind of like brightens up the eye. If you wanted to give it more definition, you can go with some more of the bronzer that I used on my face, and you could use that in your eye crease as well. So that's what I would do. Just take some of that same bronzer with a fluffy brush, blend out the edges in the crease. And then like I said, if you didn't want any shimmer on the lid, then you could just do this bronzer in the crease and then just drag whatever's left on your brush down onto your eyelid. And that would be like a 2-second, super easy eye look. It just makes you look put together without, again, trying too hard. Next, with a small pencil brush, I'm just going to take a little bit of that same bronzer and just quickly run that along my lower lash line. I just love the definition a little bit of bronzer on the lower lash line gives. That's always the key. You don't want to look like you tried too hard. Next, for my waterline and top lash line, I'm taking this LA Girl Intense eyeliner in Lasting Brown. I used to always use black eyeliner in middle school and high school, and looking back, I just wish I would have toned it down a notch and just used brown, because I feel like it's so much softer on the eyes. It gives to me a much more pretty look, especially when you are keeping the eyes more natural and subtle. It'll give you that definition without closing in your eyes and making you just look like beady-eyed and tired. Especially when you're up that early in the morning, I just feel like black eyeliner can be so harsh. So this one's really nice because it's a really rich chocolate brown. I'm just gonna lightly like line my lash line with it, just keeping it super close to my lashes. And then for mascara to give me a ton of length and separation without clumping, I'm going to be using my Voluminous Million Lashes Mascara. This mascara works amazing with the primer because, again, it gives you length separation. The primer gives you some volume without it looking like clumpy spider lashes. This was my go-to mascara, I believe, freshman year and sophomore year of high school. Last, if you want to give a little bit more of a pop to your lip without it being too much, you can take this NYX lip pencil in Venice. I have no idea if I'm saying this right. This pencil literally reminds me so much of MAC Edge to Edge lip pencil, which I love, but this is a fraction of the cost. And what I like to do with this is line my lips and then color the whole lip in, and then I'll throw some lip gloss on top, and It looks so good. It gives you a little bit of color without looking like you're wearing a full-on lipstick. And what's nice about this is that it stays put longer than just like a regular lipstick. And if it's the first day of school and you want a little bit of drama, you can take a darker lip pencil and just use that on the edges. I'm just doing this right now, but you definitely do not have to do this. This is just if you want to get a little bit of that Kylie lip. And I'm taking this literally $1.49 lip gloss that I got at this beauty supply store when I was in Connecticut. It is so glossy. It's Vita Lip Rose Ship Oil Lip Gloss. It reduces fine lines and moisturizes and heals. It contains vitamin A. This stuff is so good. I could not believe it was $1. So I'm just going to throw that on mainly in the center of my lip. Yes, look how glossy that is. And I like it because it's not super sticky. I just quickly added a little bit more of the lash primer to my brow hairs to set them in place again. And just casually waiting for them to dry while I have white eyebrows. Alright, and then last tip. Make sure your makeup stays put all day. Just go ahead and take some setting spray. I'm using this e.l.f. Matte Magic Setting Mist, and I genuinely do use this whenever I want my makeups to stay put all day and I don't want it to separate. And this spray is literally $3. And I've tried, again, high end, low end, but this one really is good for keeping your makeup on for a long period of time. I'm just gonna go ahead and spritz that. Alright guys, and here you have it. This is the completed look. This is exactly how I would be doing my makeup if I were going back to high school right now, and if I wanted to look super cute, feel good, but I didn't want to feel like too cake face. This is definitely how I would do my makeup for the first day of school, for sure. This is also perfect for when you're going to work, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial. I'm hoping that you found some really good, affordable back to school options. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and the notification bell. I seriously love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Have a safe school year.